maybe at 20, maybe someone 20 years old and anataka kutegemewa 23. The 23-year-old is looking to be comfortable with a 60 something year old woman. Now the 19 or the 20-year-old itabidi endi take charge, you know, because she cannot depend on this this 23-year-old
stages.
Yeah. That's what I'm understanding from.
Your relationship in a cause imbalance to the point that sasa he has no room a desire to mature up.
Yeah.
So now that's why we're saying he's a man but not a man.
Yeah, because I think whatever the issue Amushu is raising, I think, and that's something that as a society we are really struggling with today. You know, when you talk about
so you agree?
Women, no.
First, do you agree?
No. Like
okay.
When we talk about women trying to be masculine, masculinity is ideally associated with men.
Yeah.
Women are associated with femininity. So I feel whatever you're trying to say and whatever we are experiencing as a society today is a situation whereby women are trying to step up to take the roles that men are supposed to be taking. And now that leaves us to the question, what is the reason behind it? Is it because that we as men have failed, or is it because that women... No, I don't know how to put it, but is it just that women is... yeah, I think that generally, is it men have failed, or is it that just women feel the need to be in control, something of that or anything? And for me, I have mixed reactions about it. First, today we have to accept it. We live in a world whereby the females are given the priority in everything.
Yeah.
And I always say, as a man, you should never compete against a woman. They are very prioritized. So I don't have a problem with a woman trying to step up to do some of these things that men do. It's fine. That masculine energy is okay. At times you are a single mother. You have to be there for the kids. You have to somehow step up, because now you have to maybe take up the roles that the husband, who is not there for whichever reason it is, was supposed to do.
Wait, just to clarify first, are you talking, when you talk about the take up the roles, are you talking about providing financially or
That's it.
That's
the provision.
That's the
and you see, when you talk about women being masculine, it's not in terms of everything. It's always one thing that people tend to quote in a beautiful word, I don't know, masculinity. It's just a matter of women trying to prove that, you know, we can also do it. And they tend to base the argument more on financially, providing financially and everything. And as men, the reason why we feel we can't, personally, I can't handle such a woman who is trying to now bring it in form of if you bring it in a form of a competition, then you can as well go find someone who's ready to compete, because I'm not ready for that. The reason is because as a man, if you're raised in the right way, you know your main role, you have the responsibility to provide. Whatever I'm going through my childhood, if I'm raised in the right way, I know that in future I'm going to have a family, and I have to provide for family. So responsibility to me equals to life, because it's what is giving you a purpose in this life. So when you find someone who is trying to compete and trying to do what you're supposed to be doing, that not because you can't actually do it, but you come with the mentality, you know, I can as well do it.
That's the thing.
That's the wrong mentality. When you come with the fact that, you know, I can as well do it. If you can as well do it, then you can as well go somewhere else and do it on your own.
What about kama tuko in the same space? Na, like, if I don't do it, nothing is going to get done, you know? So, like, sometimes it's not about, like, I can as well do it. It's like, well, if I don't, then who?
No, that's why I think I have the problem with the man.
So like unaona like men women
have failed, or that's why we're having a rise in women trying to be masculine. Is it because men have failed, or what do you think?
No, I guess Pia,
that's what I think.
That's what you think.
Men wamefail.
According to vile amesema, yeah, I feel like from my own experience, I've been with a guy, and in this relationship, okay, of course, seti ningia pale. Me personally, napenda boy child. I'm considerate of boy child. Sipendi kupressure kijana wa mtu, mtoto wa mtu and everything. But then you're in a relationship with someone, and then they're just, you know, they're just there. Like I have to take up almost everything. Like what she's saying. If I don't do anything, nothing is going to go on.
Yeah,
like
true.
nikao sote. Let's just sit, relax, you know, and
actually,
so like in a fika place, I have to like take up his roles, my roles, everything. I do everything
To
together.
be specific,
you know.
kitu moja to be specific. Like say you're living here na nini with that guy.
You are living
That's
here with
specific.
Jeff.
Yeah. That specific nini.
The
That's
thing.
Role
specific.
unachukua.
The specific role nachukua, like being in charge. Okay,
In what
just
way?
being in charge of
Financially, you
zote,
provide,
everything. Providing,
you pay for the bills.
of course.
Yeah.
Okay, not like we were living together, but yeah, kitu kama hiyo financially,
Bro,
like just
whenever
being
you are,
in
very
charge.
lazy.
Yeah, yo, it's a lazy man.
Yeah, that's why
Yes,
I'm saying I agree with her, because there are men outside who are like that. You know, like wanafanya, we have to like suppress our feminine whatever, so that we take up their sport. You know, unafanya dem unakuwa so masculine that, you know, some men fear masculine women. That watu wengine watakuangalia from outside wanakuogopa. Personally, I don't. Should I say
So
I've been
why
masculine?
don't you leave this guy and go find another?
Alikuwa-
Better,
Yeah,
better
achana
one.
na huyo. Story ya
Yeah.
kitambo.
That's why you
Ilikuwa
left
story ya
it.
kitambo,
Yeah.
kwa singekaa sana.
that's
So like there is.
By the way, that relationship made me feel like I was losing myself, you know. Sometimes I don't know if it's the same for every woman, but sometimes when we take up the masculine whatever roles
Role.
sana, inafanya we
have to
forget
change.
about us being
You
we
change
change
a lot.
you
'Cause
change
that's not you.
yeah. I felt like I was not being myself anymore. Mpaka there was a time nilikuwa nakaa hivi mpaka najiuliza, who am I becoming? Who is this? You know, like I don't recognize myself anymore.
Yeah.
And it made me really appreciate the fact that I need to also embrace my femininity side, you know. And ikafanya pia, well, one thing I'm looking at, I'm not searching, but one thing I'd look for in a guy ni mwenye atanialau pia niweze kukua a female, you know. I am able to express my femininity, you know. Si ati mtu mwenye nataka naye and then every time I have to be on the other side very often, because it makes me lose me at the end of the day.